I'm Sally Mills of LaVolta and LaVolta Principles, and welcome to Digital Bullets 2010. We've asked some industry experts to share their thoughts on issues and developments in the digital industry. We've given each person 20 seconds to answer those questions, or else they get the chop. So we'll be broadcasting a sizzling digital bullet on a regular basis. One question answered with many different points of view. Hope you enjoy. What is the most interesting new digital business or idea that you've seen in recent months which you think has potential? Or put it another way, if you had to invest $1 million of your own money in a digital business right now, where would you put it?
If I had $1 million to invest, probably I'd put it into Firemint, which are the iPhone development company based in Melbourne who have developed flight control and real racing. So I'm pretty sure flight control is the biggest selling app in the iPhone store worldwide, or game. I think any money spent with them would be money well spent.
We're involved in the local search space, and I think long term everybody knows that the local search space will come of age and someone will find a way of properly commercialising the fact that we largely do our living and shopping close to where we live, and that local search space is not well dealt with by the big players and needs to be dealt with by niche players.
You know, businesses that emerge that help brands, first of all, mitigate how they're talked about online, and then build trusted networks or relationships with those consumers, those potential influencers. That's something that we should really look toward and look out for.
The really big opportunity is to leverage from the significant change we've seen in consumer behaviour within the digital, mobile and social space. So certainly my money would be leaning towards looking at ways that we can introduce a consumer and business proposition that leverages some of those key elements and key technologies from mobile, search, social.
Australia has just launched its first 4G network. I think many of us who bought USB modems on the 3G networks over the last year have been bitterly disappointed. We've been sold a super fast mobile broadband experience, and we're just not having that. With 4G, we've got a whole new ball game, so I think it'll be an interesting space to watch in the next 6 to 12 months.
Well, from an Australian perspective, I really like Adioso.com. And also What News and the We Are Hunted guys. They are doing some fantastic stuff. On a global perspective, I'm really interested in the work that Hunch are doing. The way that they are able to sort of take a little bit of data from you and then answer every question you need in your life is extraordinary. So I'm seeing some of these models which are being built over the data of the internet that's available. So looking into those businesses that are sort of taking data and making it really useful for people in everyday life, they're the ones that I'd back.
I think mobile applications is certainly the area that I'm excited about, and taking those mobile applications to brands. I think we've only started to see the beginning of that investment, so that's where I'd be putting my money.
I think when I invest in businesses, I like to look at businesses that are doing something that we already do, but doing it better, rather than trying to fundamentally change the way we do things, because at the end of the day that is truly a crapshoot, and you probably won't pick the right winner in that.
I think that anyone who knows the answer to this question probably isn't going to answer it on video. However, I think for me, some of the stuff I'm excited about seeing where they go is something like LinkedIn. And since Cliff took over the business here in Australia, where he takes that I think that's a really exciting opportunity.
This isn't a digital business, but I feel that there's a lot of potential in magazine publishing to young males that isn't being serviced right now. So if I had $1 million, I might look at trying to reinvigorate that, maybe getting a digital business and extending that out into a print business.
There's a company called SR7 that caught my attention recently. Now, while at Anthill we get presented with all sorts of interesting digital companies and concepts knocking on our door, talked about on our blogs and forums, however, this particular company is a traditionally based advisory firm that provides risk assessment and auditing for large companies that are moving into the social media space.
Well, even without seeing it, I think so many of us are going to wish that we had come up with the idea for the iPad. I don't know if maybe Apple would sell me the exclusive distribution rights for Apple iPads in Australia and New Zealand. I think it'd be a lot more than $1 million though, wouldn't it?
If I had $1 million to invest, I'd invest in a performance agency, and performance being not only about, creating great creative ideas, but making sure that those ideas did actually work. So that a client could come in and say, for every dollar they spend, this is how much they are getting on a return on investment.
Polyvore, it's a lookbook for fashion online. It's going to be huge.
I think IPTVs is probably the area that I'd be focusing on right now. It's got the best yields, it's got the biggest acceptance, it's the fastest growing part of the market, and I don't think anyone's cracked that yet in terms of both content or, more important, navigation and how to actually find good stuff as opposed to stuff.